All right, it is time to talk some soccer. Tomorrow night, FC Dallas will be taking on the Portland Timbers in the first round of the MLS Cup playoffs and looking for some revenge while they're at it. The Timbers upset FC Dallas in the first round of the postseason 2 years ago, ending their season and their hopes of lifting the cup. Dallas has made the playoffs 6 of the last 7 years, but is looking for its first postseason win since 2016. We'll see if they can end that 4-year postseason drought tomorrow night. The good news for Dallas, their defense has been stellar on the road. The bad news, Portland was the second highest scoring team in the Western Conference this season. And we mentioned that stellar defense, and much of their success defensively has been thanks to their goalkeeper. Jimmy Maurer has played professionally for over a decade, but tomorrow will be his first career playoff start. Robbie Fuelling has his story.
Long ball over the top, though. Now they find an opportunity for Zdenek Androsic, and Cobras in, and they score! 9th-minute goal!
If you don't score, you don't win. I know, pretty basic sports logic, but that rationale is why soccer teams invest so much in goalkeepers. Meet Jimmy Maurer, FC Dallas's main line of defense, and a human highlight reel. The 32-year-old has been blocking shots since he was a kid, but it wasn't until he was 29 when he made his first career start in the MLS. Jimmy spent over a decade in 4 different cities, 2 different countries, and 7 different organizations before finally signing with FC Dallas in 2017.
It's been an up and down career for sure. You know, you always have good moments and bad moments and times where you're struggling a bit.
His time in Dallas has been anything but a struggle. Jimmy has 7 shutouts in 16 games this year, which ranks 3rd among starting goalkeepers. Entering the 2020 season, though, he was the backup. That was until Dallas released former starter Jesse Gonzalez. Jimmy's first chance to shine in his new role was in the MLS's back tournament, but FC Dallas had to withdraw from competition because 10 players tested positive for COVID-19.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal. I was really excited for that moment. As a team, we all were, and I was excited about showing the league what I could do in such an intimate setting. It's just been a crazy year of stops and starts, and that was a really crazy moment.
It's been an unpredictable year, but Jimmy has helped Dallas through it all.
Boys, be ready to stop! Let's go!
He's the vocal leader of this squad, but as Coach Gonzalez will tell you, he's pretty even keel.
They always say goalkeepers are a little crazy. I don't know, Jimmy's not crazy. He's a family guy. He's got his 4 kids, wife, and he's a great dad.
His family on the field will need him against a very talented Portland team. This will be Jimmy's first career postseason start.
We're all going to be nervous because it's a playoff game, because we care. But I know Jimmy's going to channel that into confidence and belief and vocal communication and making plays like he's done for us.
Goalkeeping it's 99% mental, I swear. So much is on that about being able to just, clear your mind and make the best action in the moment, and you're not going to get a second one.
That's right. It's win or go home. FC Dallas will have one shot to clinch its first ever MLS Cup.
Good luck to him and the team. Now, just about 3 hours down I-35, we are getting closer and closer to kickoff for the 3rd MLS team in Texas. Austin FC will be the first and only Major League sports team in the capital city. And it was a big week for the team revealing its jersey. Take a look. The team says they wanted something unique but also timeless. That crest has 2 oak trees intertwined, representing the connection between the club and the city. And it's not only the legend they're excited to grow, but also that in-state rivalry.
This first couple matches against FC Dallas, against the Houston Dynamo, are going to be really exciting. And they're going to be great moments for Austinites to prove on the pitch that Austin is the best city in Texas. And really kind of take something that was a rivalry that really never had a medium before and put it into the sport of soccer.
Some fighting words there. So we've got a jersey, we've got a few players, and we've got about 75% of a stadium. The pitch is in, and the countdown to kickoff is now officially on. And while those finishing touches are still being added, we wanted to give you a sneak peek of how it's coming along so far.
This is a 24-acre property. Of course, the interior bowl itself is important. That's what most people will focus on. But there's a lot of landscaping that needs to be finished up once the stadium construction gets to its close. I'm of course happy that we're share what's happened throughout the last couple months with everybody. So to get new people inside of the stadium, to share the excitement and see smiles. To me, this is a big moment. We're 75% complete on stadium construction. We remain on schedule, and that's one of the most important things that's happened. The grass, which got installed a couple of weeks ago, helps the interior of the stadium feel like a stadium. We've got the best groundskeeper in Major League Soccer, and Weston has been a day one employee for Austin FC. So in January of 2019, he was brought on board 22 months before grass was actually ever installed. He was focused on selecting the right grass. I think, as you can see right now, Weston is doing excellent work in making sure that the grass will be ready in spring of 2021. He spent months and months, and ultimately Weston chose Seashore Pass Balaam. From a themology perspective, identifying with something that was distinctive to Austin or important to Austin was always part of our design intent, and that's how the badge, our club badge, our identity was formed, and that's how our colors were formed.
And that was Andy Loughnane there, the team president. The most romantic soccer has ever looked, by the way. And he mentioned Weston. He was talking about Weston Applefeller, Austin FC's head groundskeeper. We heard him say Weston spent months and months, 22 months to be exact, picking the right grass. And I'm no expert. I didn't even know there was such thing as wrong grass. But what I can tell you is that grass looks green and it looks luscious. So let's go back about a year and a half ago to see exactly how Weston grew that perfect pitch. When most of us stroll through the grass, we're usually thinking about everything but what's under our feet. Different story for Weston Applefeller.
I don't necessarily dream about grass, but I have woken up from many a dreams to think about grass, so.
He's not kidding. Grass, it's kind of his thing.
So from the time I was really young, I used to go to a lot of baseball games, and I always wanted to play baseball professionally and be in sports professionally, but knew I wasn't good enough. And so probably around 7th or 8th grade, I realized, at a game that there's a grounds crew that does work.
From there, he never looked back. After getting a degree in turf science, Weston worked as a groundskeeper at legendary Fenway Park, home of the Boston Red Sox, then for the Philadelphia Union and Columbus Crew, spending a total of 10 years in Major League Soccer. Now he's doing what he calls his dream job, building the field Austin FC will call home.
Getting everything exactly how I want it is its most exciting portion of my career by far.
Exciting, but more demanding than it appears. First came the decision to go with grass over turf.
Soccer players in general want to play on natural grass.
And apparently there are a lot of different types of natural grass, like Seashore Pass Balaam.
It is salt tolerant, so a lot of golf courses you'll see along the Gulf Coast will have a grass that's like this.
Tiff Tough Bermuda.
It is a relatively newer variety. It's become more and more popular.
Latitude 36 Bermuda.
What UT has on their women's soccer field.
And the list goes on. It's been a long process. We checked in on Weston a couple times throughout, hence the beard. Since January, he's been raising these patches of the different grass varieties outside the team office, trying to figure out which one will make the perfect pitch.
They get about 6 to 7 hours of natural sunlight a day.
At this point, they're more or less his babies. He waters them, feeds them, cuts them, and studies their behaviors, learning things like how they handle the Texas heat.
It's very good in warm weather.
He also uses this tool called a shear tester, which mimics a player's cleat tearing up the grass.
It gives you a number that is how much pressure the grass can hold.
That lets him know how quickly the grass would recover from a divot, and most importantly, how much water each type of grass would need to keep the athletes from getting hurt.
We want them to not have to worry about what the field is underneath them. When they show up, they have a perfectly 100% flat, full coverage grass field.
Lots of little decisions that will forever be rooted in Austin's soccer history.
It's exciting. The city's excited. We're excited. I cannot wait for that opening match.